It all started with an unsettling discovery. Hiding under the driver's seat was a family of unwelcome guests. They had completely taken over, gathering clothes and scraps from every part of the car to build a nest for their young. My car wasn't my own anymore. The extent of the infestation was even worse than I thought. At the workshop, we found the AC cabin unit completely compromised. All the chips and chocolate wrappers they'd collected were stuffed inside along with the smell. For a long time, I couldn't figure out how they were getting in. My car seemed sealed. But then I found it. A neatly cut, perfectly round hole right under the cowl area. A giant open door they'd chewed through. The fact that this part wasn't already metal was a serious design flaw. I realized a simple cleaning wasn't enough. I had to permanently block their entry. This wasn't a mechanic's job. It was a DIY project. The first step was to remove the exterior metal layer and the wipers. The whole area was covered in dust. When I finally got the cowl area off, the truth was undeniable. A huge, 9-inch wide, 2-inch high opening. A welcome mat for rats, snakes, or anything that crawls. The area was absolutely filthy with droppings and filth. They had made a home right inside my car's air intake. Hours of deep cleaning later, the space was finally clean. Every single surface was sanitized. The entryway was clear, but the job was far from over. The plan was simple: install a steel mesh over the opening. I applied a clear RTV adhesive and used blocks of wood to apply pressure and hold the mesh in place. This was the only way to get a perfect seal on a curved surface. To ensure a quicker, stronger bond, I added more RTV and M-Seal putty to the corners. This adhesive had to be perfect. My car's future depended on it. The wooden blocks came off, and the result was pure satisfaction. The mesh was securely in place. Nothing could get in now. The main door was sealed for good. I even cleaned the cowl unit itself with soap and water, restoring it to its original condition. Looking at the tools I used, the foam sprayer, the wooden blocks, and my gloves, I felt a huge sense of accomplishment. I reinstalled both layers of the cowl area. The fitment was so precise, it looked like it came straight from the factory. I know if I'd taken it somewhere else, something would have been broken or misplaced. I am so glad I did this myself. But after all that work, something was still wrong. The rats weren't getting caught in the cage traps. I had to know what was happening. I set up a dash cam with a power bank, a flashlight, and a glue trap to get a clear picture of what was going on. And this is what I found. Even with the main entry sealed, there were still 2 rats trapped inside my car. One of them even managed to escape the glue trap. This was war. I wasn't playing games anymore. I put down 2 more glue traps with a piece of radi as bait. It worked. One of them was finally caught, but there was still 1 more to find. I searched everywhere, under the dash, under the seats. That last rat was incredibly smart, avoiding every trap I set. I knew glue traps were my last resort, but I was not going to give up. My car had to be rat-free. And then finally, the mission was complete. The last rat was caught. For 5 days straight, I put a piece of radi on the mat and it remained untouched. I even sprinkled talcum powder on the floor and there were no traces of them. My car is finally infestation free. My last step, a much needed car service.